Hey everyone, I can't believe it's already the end of January. This month has flown by for me, and I just checked Book of the Month, and I was surprised that it's already out for February. So I decided to just hop on and make a video. So let's get into these selections. So it does say 6 selections this month. First one is A Good Animal by Sara Maurer. This is a literary fiction and it is a debut. This was also on my anticipated fiction for 2026. So I'll probably get this. Let's see. He will never leave his small town life. She longs for something more. Can their love sustain both of their dreams? It does come out February 24th, so you'll be getting it pretty early if you get it from Book of the Month. This is romance, serious, rural, and coming of age. I don't know if I want a serious book, though, but let's see. Staying is his dream, leaving is hers. One secret threatens them both. In the farm country outside Salst I don't know how to say that. Sault Marie, Michigan, a border town where life moves slow and dreams run fast. Most kids want out. Not Everett Lint. He's set on staying put, rebuilding his family's sheep farm and carving a future from the land he loves. Then he meets Mary, a new girl in town with restless energy and bigger plans. When their relationship reaches a crossroads, Everett sees a life together. Mary, however, is desperate to find a way out. Together, they make an impulsive choice, one that could change everything. Tense, lyrical, and deeply felt, Sara Maurer's unforgettable debut breathtakingly captures the ache of first love, the beauty and brutality of rural life, and how one decision can echo through generations and shape who we become. No content warnings. It already has ratings. That's interesting. I do think this was on my list, so I would like to look at that. I guess I kind of forgot it was maybe teenagers. It is coming of age story. We'll see what the other options are. So there's It's Not Her by Mary Kubica, and it's a thriller. I did see this one coming out, so I am interested in this one as well. When her vacation turns into a crime scene, one woman must solve a chilling mystery to save what's left of her family. Fast read, non-linear timeline, multiple viewpoints, and a whodunit. A scream shatters the silence. Courtney Gray's peaceful vacation turns into a nightmare when she discovers her brother and sister-in-law dead in their lakeside cottage. Her niece, Reese, is missing. Her nephew, Wyatt, is asleep upstairs, unharmed. Yeah, that is really scary. A town full of secrets. As police swarm the quiet resort, dark truths about Courtney's family and the town itself begin to surface. Is Reese a victim or the killer? A truth no one saw coming. With everyone hiding something, Courtney races to uncover the terrible mystery, but the closer she gets, the harder it is to know who or what to trust. I'm surprised there's no content warnings for that. I don't know, I love like a classic thriller. I did like some of Mary Kubica's books already, but let's see what the other options are. One and Only by Murene Goo, romance. I do like that cover a lot. It's really pretty. When a psychic matchmaker unexpectedly falls in love, she'll have to decide what to trust, her magic or her heart. Light read, magical, love triangle, and salacious. She knows what her happily ever after looks like, and it's not him. Wow. Cassia Park believes in soulmates, fated love stories. It's her family business, after all. For centuries, from Korea to Los Angeles, Park women have peered into clients' past lives to find their one true love, their fated. This magical secret is why one and only matchmaking has 100% guarantee for everyone but Cassia. For 10 years, Cass has been searching for her fated, a man named Daniel Nam, but he's still nowhere to be found. And so, on the eve of her 40th birthday, Cass decides to do something for herself. She impulsively has a fling with Ellis. He's 28, indecently handsome, and not destined to be the love of her life. But she's surprised by their connection, and their fling feels like something more. Up to the moment he introduces her to his boss, Daniel Nam. As she battles between fate and chance, head and heart, a family secret is revealed that will make her question everything she's ever known. Cassia will have to decide if she'll follow her fate or make her own. That sounds really good, but that is a big age difference too, like 12 years. I don't know. I don't know. Am I in the mood for a romance? I'm not sure. I really like the cover though. It's very pretty. And it does sound like right up my alley with like psychic matchmaker. Let's see. Then there's a YA fantasy, Stolen Midnights by Catherine Quinn. When a magical locket is stolen from an 18-year-old on her birthday, an enchanting quest of romance and revenge ensues. It says romance, so it's kind of like a romantasy, I guess. Multiple viewpoints, 400 plus pages, of course, and first in a series. In the city of Andalay, the ruling fates bestow gifts among society's most favored. When Damien, a cold and hardened thief, is hired to steal one of those gifts, meant for the princess of Ward 1, Ren Hayes, he finds himself entangled in a web of secrets. The gift, a locket containing his own photograph. Whoa, she has that? That's kind of weird. Once the locket is opened, hidden truths unravel, shedding light on the ruthless ways of the upper class. Yearning for the three fates and the magical gifts they bestow, the lords of Andalay will go to any lengths to keep their power, including murder. Brought together by destiny and fighting a dangerous temptation that's becoming harder to resist, Ren and Damien navigate a seedy world where the truth can destroy not only their lives, but the city itself. Actually, that sounds really good. I'm really interested in that actually. Even though it is a YA, I'll have to read the sample to see, since I'm kind of drifting away from the YAs, but the cover's also really pretty. So I might get that. Next is Good People by Patmina Sabit, contemporary fiction. When an immigrant family faces a tragedy, shockwaves ripple in a community. How does neighborly gossip warp the truth? Multiple viewpoints, suburban drama, slow build, and immigration. That'd probably be good to read right now. The Sharaf family is the picture of success. Prosperous, rich, happy. They came to this country as refugees with nothing more than the clothes on their backs, and now, after years of hard work, they live in the most exclusive neighborhood. Their growing family attending the most prestigious schools. Zora, the eldest daughter, is the apple of her father's eye. When an unthinkable tragedy strikes, everyone is left reeling, and the family is thrust into the court of public opinion. There is talk that behind closed doors, the Sharaf's happy household was anything but. Did the Sharaf family achieve the American dream, or was the image of the model immigrant family just a facade? Like a literary game of ping pong, Good People compels the reader to reconsider what might have happened even on the previous page. Told through a kaleidoscope of perspectives, it is a riveting, provocative, and haunting story of family. Sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, and the communities that claim us as family in difficult times. No content warnings either. That's interesting. There's no content warnings for any of these. I don't know if I would like that it makes me rethink even like the next page, like going back a previous page, it makes me rethink it. I'm not sure I have the like bandwidth for that right now. And then the last option is The X's by Leodora Darlington, which is a debut and a thriller. And I cannot read at all what it says on that book. I'm not sure. Dead exes keep piling up, and she might be the only common link. Is her husband next? Psychological, nonlinear timeline, slow build, and unreliable narrator. Natalie has only ever wanted to find the one, the perfect man, the happy family she never had. But each time she thinks she is finally getting somewhere, she's bitterly disappointed. Another red line through a list of exes. And that was before the night of the big fallout that left her even more alone. Then along comes James, wonderful, handsome James, and Natalie thinks her luck has finally turned. Maybe he's the one for her. Maybe he's the one she's been waiting for all along. Maybe he won't wind up dead. Yeah, sounds like she's the problem. But the harder Natalie tries to be a normal wife, the more world-upending truths are brought to her door, leaving her unsure of who she really is, and much less what she'll do, leaving her to question whether there is a monster within her or whether there's a villain toying with her from the outside. What's the secret story behind Natalie's dead exes? Will she and James survive their marriage? And do either of them deserve to? Oh, it does have content warnings here. This book contains scenes depicting sexual assault. That does sound intriguing, but I'm kind of still leaning towards either A Good Animal, since it was on my list, or One and Only. Sounds really good. But let's check out the new... Oh, well, there are collections. I don't really know what that means. February collections. This is the first time they've ever done this. Oh, Centennial editions. So, I guess, is Book of the Month going... No, for 100 years? No. Centennial editions celebrate our legacy. Books we discovered early, believed in deeply, and still stand by. Read them, reread them, collect them. A 1929 selection. Book of the Month has been going on for that long? That's interesting. All Quiet on the Western Front. Well, I don't know if I'll get that. I didn't know Book of the Month's been going on that long. The Offset, titles from indie and international voices for those who seek artistic expression over commercial appeal, elevated prose over action-packed plots, and the unconventional over the mainstream. The Offset is a counterbalance to commercial trends, offering books that are an artful deviation from the expected. I wonder how often they'll offer both of these. The Natural Way of Things by Charlotte Wood. 8 women awake as prisoners in the desert, but who are their captors and what are their crimes? Oh, female rage. Yes. I need to read this, maybe. When the women awaken from a drugged sleep to find themselves imprisoned in a broken down property in the middle of a desert, they have no idea where they are or how they came to be there. Doing hard labor under a sweltering sun, guarded by 2 inept yet vicious jailers, the prisoners soon learn what links them. In each woman's past is a sexual scandal with a powerful man. They pray for rescue, but as the hours turn into days and the days into weeks and months, it becomes clear that the women must rescue themselves. Yeah. Originally published in 2016, and ever more relevant upon its 10th anniversary, The Natural Way of Things is a lucid and illusory, why am I having trouble saying that? Illusory fable and a brilliantly plotted novel of ideas that reminds us of humankind's own vast contradictions. The capacity for savagery, selfishness, resilience, and redemption, all contained by a single vulnerable body. Does have content warnings, contains mentions of rape, sexual assault, and suicide. I didn't know this was from 2016. Never heard of that book. I might look into that. I'm going to have to read the sample. But then we can look at the add-ons, new and recent add-ons. Here we go. I think there's 5 new add-ons. So there's A Romance, Sunk in Love by Heather McBreen. What's worse than a cruise with your ex-husband? Having to pretend to still be married in front of your entire family. There's a book that looks similar to this. I think it's maybe by Abby Jimenez that has that same premise, but I'm not sure if that's true. But 400 plus pages, salacious, nonlinear timeline, and second chance romance, which I don't often like. Roslyn and Liam met 9 years ago and have been the perfect couple ever since. Through every up and down, every milestone, from Liam's residency to the publication of Roslyn's debut romance, they've been each other's rock until now. Pulled apart by the untimely death of Roslyn's mom and the undertow of grief, they're now navigating the final wave of their marriage, divorce. Heartbroken and unsure how to tell her family she's called it quits with everyone's favorite son-in-law, Rosalind keeps the impending split to herself. But when Rosalind's grandparents ask if Liam can officiate their vow renewal ceremony aboard a Hawaiian cruise during their annual vacation, Rosalind needs to tell the truth or figure out a way to keep her secret. A week trapped at sea with her ex isn't ideal, but neither Rosalind nor Liam want to rock the boat, so they concoct a plan. They'll fake it. After 5 years of marriage, they can figure out how to pretend for jungle hikes and Mai Tais, right? But when reality and make-believe starts to blur and old feelings begin to resurface, Rosalind and Liam have to decide whether it's sink or swim for their marriage. That's really hard to deal with grief like that, and then maybe you just don't feel understood by your partner, or there's other stresses, and then you're trying to go for a divorce, but then you're stuck together and old feelings resurface. I don't know if I would read that actually. I don't know. Not really my thing. Next one is So Old, So Young by Grant Gender, contemporary fiction. Is that fish? That fish is upside down. The fish is dead. I like the cover except for that part, but I really like the style of it. Over 2 decades, a friend group navigates the trials and tribulations of love, grief, and adulthood together. Multiple viewpoints, female friendships, salacious, and New York City. 6 friends, 5 parties, 20 years. How did we get so old, so young? For Marco and Mia, Sasha and Theo, Richie and Adam, the one constant in life after college together has been change. New jobs, new cities, new spouses, new children. Through it all, one thing they thought would always stay the same is their friendship. But time has a way of breaking even the strongest bonds and testing what we thought we knew. From East Village apartment parties and disastrous destination weddings to 40th birthdays and suburban backyard barbecues, Grant Gender's resonant, funny, and deeply moving novel is a story about the growing pains of the millennial generation and a celebration of how love can shift, stumble, and grow into something bigger than we ever could have imagined. That sounds nice, but I feel like I would probably get it from the library. I don't know if I would want to own it. And then This Book Made Me Think of You by Libby Page, contemporary fiction. That cover's like really cute. We know the power of a new book each month. In this novel, it takes 12 book recs to repair a widow's broken heart. Emotional book about books, 400 plus pages, and cozy. That's a like pretty big book. I thought it would be shorter than that, 400 plus pages. 12 books, 12 months, one chance to heal her heart. When Tilly Nightingale receives a call telling her there's a birthday gift from her husband waiting for her at her local bookshop, it couldn't come as more of a shock. Partly because she can't remember the last time she read a book for pleasure, but mainly because Joe died 5 months ago. When she goes to pick up the present, Alfie, the bookshop owner with kind eyes, explains the gift. 12 carefully chosen books with handwritten letters from Joe, one for each month, to help her turn the page on her first year without him. Oh my gosh, this is gonna make me cry. At first, Tilly can't imagine sinking into a fictional world, but Joe's tender words convince her to try, and something remarkable happens. Tilly becomes immersed in the pages, and a new chapter begins to unfold in her own life. Monthly trips to the bookstore and heartfelt conversations with Alfie give Tilly the comfort she craves and the courage to set out on a series of reading-inspired adventures that take her around the world. But as she begins to share her journey with others, her story, like a book, becomes more than her own. That sounds so sweet. I really like that. I might pick that. And then we have Dawn of the North by Demi Winters, which is a fantasy. Reminds me of like Game of Thrones, I guess, with the wolf and the man with the coat and the swords and the tree. I guess everything reminds me of not the Pegasus, I guess, but the rest of it reminds me of Game of Thrones. Return to Isildur in the third installment of the Ashen series, where our heroes must restore peace in the kingdom. Okay, so it's the third in a series. I have not read this series. 400 plus pages, salacious, multiple viewpoints, and third in the series. I guess they had the other two. The lost Volsic heir has finally returned to the people of Isildur, and even with the warrior who'd captured her heart standing by her side, Scylla's task is monumental. She must earn the loyalty of the northern Jarls to drive Ivar Ironheart from the throne and restore peace in the kingdom. But the secret she vigilantly guards threatens to ruin all her plans. A shard of a god lives in her mind, twisting her thoughts and deeds to his will. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Meanwhile, held captive on the mysterious Isle of Zagadka, Saga Volsic fights to return to her sister in Isildur. But when King Ivar sets his sights on the Zagadkians, she's forced to make an impossible choice: fight for the man who stole her and is now hell-bent on marrying her, or let the innocent people of his kingdom die. As a poisonous mist threatens the realm, the sisters will delve into the unknowns of their magic to battle against evil. Return to the land of ice and fire, where a god awakens, a queen finds her power, and sisters must unite against the darkness threatening their realm. Oh, it used to tell you what the books were. If I don't know, they must have had the other books though, but I'm not gonna get that. Last option for a new add-on is How to Kill a Guy in 10 Years by Shaylee Thompson, and it's a romance. And this is also on my anticipated fiction but list. So I might get it. I might opt to read it at the library though, since I don't really buy romances, I guess. I don't usually keep them. But let's see. Two friends learn just how dangerous the dating pool is when a speed dating event turns deadly. Swoon, laugh, kill. There's like a murder at a speed dating? Female friendships, whodunit, movie-ish, and salacious. When Jamie Prescott and her best friend Lori attend a speed dating event, Jamie expects to meet a roster of mediocre men and indulge in some street food afterwards. She doesn't expect one of her dates to have his throat slit at their table during a blackout. That would be insane. After the lights come back on and there are more bodies on the floor, it becomes clear that dating can be a very dangerous pastime. Armed with makeshift weapons and Jamie's extensive knowledge of what not to do in a slasher, the remaining speed daters try to find an exit while the killer adds to their body count. As the night progresses and Jamie comes face to mask with the murderer, she begins to suspect they are committing the slayings to woo one of the daters and turn them into a real-life final girl. But Jamie has other plans, and as she fights for her life, she can't help but find herself ensconced in a love triangle with two of the other survivors. Will she make it through the bloodshed to find her happily ever after? Or does this machete-wielding psychopath have another ending in mind? Yeah, I don't know if I want to read that right now. That's a little insane, but those are the options then, I guess. I am interested in This Book Made Me Think of You. I think that sounds really cute. As far as the main pick, I'm really between A Good Animal and One and Only. So, let me know what you're going to pick. Oh, and the collection. I am interested in The Natural Way of Things. But since it came out in 2016, maybe I could just get it from the library, is kind of what I'm thinking. I only have 11 credits. It's only February. I need to not add that many more. But that's it for this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more Book of the Month and other book-related videos. I do plan to post more videos maybe mid-February and after, so stay tuned for that. But I am mostly on my blog, notesfromtheshelf.com, so head on over there for book reviews, recommendations, reading challenges, author interviews. There's a lot of stuff over there, so go check it out. Anyway, hope everyone is staying warm, and until next time, happy reading.